What's it like to eat an edible and a Xanax? Do you ever do it together?
Oh, fuck yeah, all the time.
What's it feel like?
It tames the edible.
It tames the edible.
It tames the edible. It's like having a zookeeper, you know what I'm saying? Xanax tames the animal.
Oh.
So sometimes you eat an edible and you get too much anxiety, so fuck it. Let me get something prepared. You drop 2 Xanaxes and a 300 milligram, you're on your way.
So wait, do you take the Xanax before the edible?
No, I take the edible first, let it start bothering me a little bit on the flight. And then I pop the Xanax. Then you drink a little Canadian, you drink a little fucking Diaz and ginger ale.
Oh.
It's all over. You understand? I got the perfect recipe.
That might be my new perfect recipe. Can I tell you what happened? So
I love Italian chicken cutlets, and I was staying with her off of Route 17 in Jersey. And I go to Rascals, and I go to get the chicken cutlet. I'm a little crazy, like our boy here. I had chicken cutlets waiting for me, but I also had a gram of Coke at the house waiting for me. And I couldn't wait to get home, and I got fucking lost. And I see a donut place, like one of those Korean donut-owned places on Route 34, 35. And I pull in, I see 2 cops in there, and they just freeze. They just freeze like I was a criminal with a machine gun. And they're like, can we help you? And I'm like, I need to get to 1735 Garrett Road, and I'm lost. You know, usually some guy goes, all right, go down and make a left. He thought I was big pussy. He goes, they put their coffee down and they go, follow us. They put a cop in front of me and a cop behind me. Drove me to Nolan Street, 13-something Nolan Street in Marlboro. And here's the best. The guy I was staying with was down there doing coke, and he was paranoid. They had their lights on.
Oh, my God.
He dumped the coke. He got all paranoid, dumped the coke. I come in, he's like, what's going on? I go, you're not going to believe it. He goes, what do you mean? Because he used to get fucked up, this guy. He would get so coked up, he would knock on his parents' door, and they would say, go away. Stop doing that white lightning.
Oh, my gosh.
He was nuts, this guy. I grew up with them, the DiLorenzos. They were fucking nuts. But I used to, whenever I go, I had to deal with him. That whenever I go back to Jersey, I stayed with him. We knew each other since he was kids, but on Friday, he would go off the deep end. And one night, his mother woke me up at 4, and she's like, you got to help me with Chrissy. I go, what's the matter? She goes, he's outside naked with a light. He was so paranoid on the coke that he said there was a leprechaun outside. So I had to go outside with his father, with his poor 80-year-old Italian father, tackle him at 4 in the morning and bring him in the house. And I'll never forget, sit him down and put the robe on him. And he was all coked up and he's shaking. And
Another scene for your life story movie, right?
Yeah. Robert, he looks over at me and he goes, I almost had him. So there's always assholes. Hold on, let me go get a wine glass.
Yeah.
Just give me the fucking glass. I gotta wait. Just pour the fucking wine in there. What's the difference? Well, the wine glass, the aromatic. Listen, shut the fuck up before I smack you. Just give me the fucking wine.
Yeah.
He would always come down with wine glasses. It would piss me the fuck off to no end. And the girls would be impressed. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Drink the wine. Just shut the fuck up. Drink the fucking wine, you know? Like, I'm one of those guys. I don't like no drama. And the people I grew up, I remember one time going out to dinner with my friends. I'll never forget this. I still talk to them. The Holloways. Roger had just graduated high school. Nobody has the balls to call and insult me. Like, I'll call people and go, you got a brother? What do you want to do? You want to light him on fire so he gets nothing?
Nothing.
Nobody else can test the will. And they'll die of laughter. They're like, don't push me, because I hate that motherfucker as it is. And for 5 minutes, I just made their day.
Yeah.
We would leave her mother's house, go to the warehouse on Sunday nights,
Yeah.
buy 2 roofies around 7, pop them, and then go on the hunt for coke, and then go out, and we'd end up back in my apartment doing the nastiest things you could do to each other.
You could get an erection after a roofie and lines of coke.
Oh, yeah. Like, I did. Listen, let me put it this way. This is the type of guy I am. If we're straight up friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, and I get to know your cycle, I kind of leave you alone that week. I don't like period pussy. You know what I'm saying? I've never really, it's always petrified me. I know on coke, I've eaten period pussy. Just lick the clit and take the tampon and pull it back in and out. You ever do that? That's how crazy my life got. That I would just lick the clit, even though I don't like blood or nothing. I would lick the clit and then take the tampon and pull it in and out. And they go crazy because women really like to make love when they're on their period.
Oh yeah.
You know?
No, I think it's not when
I
the
don't
girl's pregnant.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But when I did coke, I was all in. I was licking ass. It smelled like fucking. Because when they have their period, their pussy smells like gunpowder. Like it smells weird. So you're eating that asshole. You're thinking of George Washington and cannons and fucking. You know what I'm saying? You're like, what the fuck? Why is George Washington keep popping into my head? You're thinking of Thomas Revere, whatever his name is. So when you do coke, even if it's somebody's wife, at 4 o'clock she gets sloppy.
Yeah.
Can I use your bathroom? They go to the bathroom, they come out, and all of a sudden their thong is out and they're buttoning their pants. This is something you do in the bathroom.
Okay.
And next thing you know, she's like, "Did I ever show you my tits?" And you're like, "No, not really." And that's it. You know, that's what happens after 5 a.m. when you're alone with a woman. Everybody, you know. When I show up at these clubs on the weekends to do stand-up, I'm blown the fuck away. If you know anything about me, I'm very grateful. You know, I'm very grateful. I wish I could write more, faster, which is a pain in the ass.
You mean like books or material?
Material.
Oh, Joey. Can I tell you the problem? The problem with you is that you don't realize the funniest shit you say sometimes. The thing I've always said about you that blows me away is you say things that in passing. That you're just so naturally funny. You say things in passing that would be in my act tomorrow. My favorite one of my favorite things you've ever said, I don't know if you've ever used it in a special, was you were talking about getting attacked by dogs when you first got to this country. Yeah. And you were like, "Dog, one time I walked past a dog, he saw me, turned around and was like, fuck it, and came back and bit me.
Came back and bit me on 148th Street when I was a kid. Because I used to say hello to that dog every fucking day.
Yeah.
And the owner was a fucking scumbag. But I was so persistent that he started liking me. And he would stop the dogs, and I would go, "Hey, guys."
Remember the story you told about snorting coke with Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah.
And you're like, "This is a big motherfucker. He's snorting coke off top of the refrigerator."
That was Daryl Dawkins.
Daryl Dawkins, yeah.
Fucking God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Snorting coke. You know, I've been going, it's funny, this morning I woke up. We ate 500 milligrams of Moon bars last night.
Who, you and Lee?
Me and Lee, and then 2,000 milligrams of Stars.
Holy shit.
We weren't high in the office. When the podcast ended, we were ripped. Yeah. And then I had to drive home, and I went home, and I was so high. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I had a whole container of salsa with diet tortilla chips. It was fucking disgusting. There was tortilla chips all over the floor. Oh. I had the raisins, the yogurt-covered raisins that belonged to my daughter. And I blacked out in the THC.
For real?
I woke up this morning at 8. My head was off the pillow. 3 pillows were on the floor. I'm the most boring person in the world.
Right.
I sit in my room. I smoke joints. I go to the gym. I go to a nice restaurant, like whatever is like something local to get the local flavor. And I'm back in my hotel room.
Yeah.
Those days of drugging and all that shit, those days are gone.
Yeah.
We smoke a joint after the show in front of the hotel. And then every man goes their own way. You get a bag of Doritos, and you take it to your room and watch Law and Order till
maybe
phone
you spank
rings.
one out. You do that. The highlight is that spank that you do around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, where you don't fuck around with tissues. You get, and not even a hand towel. You get the bath towel, and you drape that thing from your chest down to your balls, and you get lotion. I'm a dry guy. I usually just I don't use anything. When I'm in a hotel, I get that lotion. I fill my hand with that shit.
That's disgusting. That is really fucking disgusting. You can't be a normal Catholic and just go in a shower, hotel shower before I'm leaving. I get on the floor, I bang one out, I come on my own stomach, I loofah it off. It's good loofah chemicals and sperm. I don't put it on my face just in case it attracts different people. You know, gay men could smell that sperm on your cheek, and they go fucking bananas. It's like cologne.
Yeah.
You
it's
take
like
a little
Chanel.
sperm, you put it on your fucking neck. It's like high karate. Next thing you know, fucking, you got gay men. You're at an LGBTQ parade. You're playing the drums for go-go's. You know. We got to have some fun, Greg Fitzsimmons. If we're going to go down, we're going to go down in flames. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck no more.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you. And I'm happy we can continue the saga.
We'll keep it going whenever you're available, my friend.
So I couldn't really go off.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Next time we do this, I'll cover the fucking holes in this story. There's more excitement in this story, but I got the FBI upstairs. So I'm living in this office. I'm kind of dating the crazy chick that I love.
This is still the stripper?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one day we go to she was into nature. She really liked nature. She's a hippie broad, you know. So we go to this fucking river, and it's got like these little caves that you go into. And the water just runs through you. It's tremendous. At that time, we went to see Pearl Jam at Waterworks Park.
Yeah, back then.
I mean, it was just, we were fucking living it up, me and this broad. I'm stealing 20s from her every night. We're having a fucking blast. You know.
Yeah.
So we're at this fucking reservoir. I'll never forget this, whatever this fucking thing is. And we're drinking Bottles and James wine coolers.
Yeah, I remember.
And she's got a tremendous ass, you know, and I'm looking at her ass. She's got a bikini on. And I'll never forget, we got into some type of argument. We weren't taught, like, she wasn't whatever you want to do, it's fine, you know, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what this girl's problem is. So I finished the fucking Bottles and James. And I'm looking at her fucking ass. She's laying there, and I'm looking at her pussy. And I take the bottle, and I start rubbing it on her pussy with the bikini on. Just rubbing it with the pussy, with the bikini on it, rubbing it. And I can see her hips are starting to move. She's starting to get hot. So I pull the bikini over, and I take the bottle, and I start playing with her clit and the whole fucking thing. And I start putting the bottle into her pussy.
No.
And I'm just,
right there?
Oh, you know me. We're fucking freaks, me and this girl. And I'm working her with the fucking bottle, nice and slow. She's moaning and groaning. I'm getting into it. I'm about to take the Cuban egg roll out and yank it myself, right? I'm about to whack off and come on her fucking hair or her titties or whatever. I'm working her with this fucking bottle. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. And next thing you know, I hear the suction from the bottle. She was about to have a period.
No.
So the suction, it created a vacuum when I was going in and out. And all of a sudden, it squirted, like the blood started filling up the bottle. I thought I cut her with the bottle, so I can't see blood, so I fainted.
Now, with the is the body present? Is your
Body's
mom there
in the room.
in the casket?
In a
You're
casket.
just around and
in a casket. First fucking night, first viewing. I'm not in there. 5 minutes, and I'm hearing Zoraida yelling and screaming. And I look around, and she's got Rivero by the throat. By the throat, like against the wall with like a fucking bottle. And she's like, you motherfucker, you put the wrong dress on her. She's like, you get in there and you fucking put the right dress on her. I told you it was the fucking blue dress. And I'm like, this is gonna be...
Gotta take her out of there and change her.
They fucking took her out. Put
Your
her
mom had an outfit change.
An outfit change.
When she was dead.
They put her back in the living room. Now these Cubans are walking in like there's another funeral. You know, when you have a funeral parlor, you have 3 rooms.
Yep.
You have 3 bodies at once. My mother's friends didn't give a fuck about the other families. They started coming in with coolers and like little portable bars and tables to play dominoes because they're like, this is what your mother wanted. Your mother didn't want nothing. Your mother wanted heavy duty people snorting coke. So we had to work the funeral in shifts. 8 to 4 was Zoraida, 4 to 12 was me, and 12
Most
to
viewings are like 7
yeah.
to 9
No.
tonight and tomorrow.
No, this started. My mother died on a Wednesday night. The viewing was 3 days, 24 hours. And I mean, fucking craziness. People snorting coke, people fucking drinking. Zoraida snorted coke anywhere. Like Zoraida's claim to fame was that she could be right here watching you, and all of a sudden she'd just go in her bra and put it back, you know. And she wouldn't say a word. Since I was 5, I knew Zoraida, and she was always snorting coke. and she would do it no matter where. She did it at my first communion.
Your first communion.
No matter where we were, we could be at Barnum and Bailey Circus in New York City, and you'd see Zoraida doing little bumps. I watched her the whole weekend, just sitting there observing people. And she would go up to people and go, "Excuse me, didn't you have an argument with her in 1958? Get the fuck out of here."
She's bouncing people.
She was throwing people out. She never liked you, and I never liked you.
Didn't you have an argument in 1958?
Oh, my God. But that night, I saw Zoraida kneeling down. Like, I went out, and I came back, and it was just her and my mother. I'm like, wow. And Zoraida was telling her, "I'm going to take care of your son."
You're hearing all this, and she doesn't know you're there.
She doesn't know I'm in the room. She goes, "I'm going to make sure he grows up to be a man." And I'll never forget, she's saying all this stuff. And I'm watching in the middle of all this. She goes,
Yes.
she goes, she goes in the bra, and she's doing like a bump. And she's like, I would give you one, but, you know. And she's like fucking, I mean, it was just classic. It really stuck with me. And then the next day we buried her, and she stayed with me for 2 weeks until my life got together, until we decided what I was going to do. I was either going to come to California, go to fucking Miami, or I could stay with my godmother in New York. But I was just getting it started in North Bergen. For the first time in my life, I was a somebody. I could have been, you know, when you watch Marlon Brando and On the Waterfront, you know, I was a somebody. People were starting to like me. I had clout, I had karma, I sold drugs. You know, I had a couple friends. I can't just leave. So I decided on, the clear choice was for me to live with the Balzanos. But I loved them too much, number one. Number two, I knew it was going to end up bad because he was too strict. So I knew this was not going to end up well. So before we even do this, let's agree to disagree. I loved him like a father, and I loved Marianne like a mother, but I could not be in your house at 11 o'clock at night. I was already raised a certain way.
Yeah.
So I was like the draft choice in the living room. I was like the draft choice in my neighborhood. I was just waiting for the perfect deal. Like the Garcias reached out.
The free agent.
But I had to share a room with the younger brother. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. They had a good day. They had a nice house. They had HBO. And they put the air on in the winter. They got to put the air on in the winter. A couple people offered me asylum. They weren't much into air conditioning. I can't live with you. All right. Balzanos.
Air conditioning.
Yeah.
You want motel requirements.
Yeah, because look, I was a single child.